Well, hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tackle something, and you know what? I'm kind of at a loss of how to start. I got this really beautiful sculpt from James Rogovoy at illusion.com, and it has so much detail and potential. I'm kind of wondering how I'm going to do the flame effect. The skull I'm not too worried about. I think I've got a handle on that. But the flame effect is going to be the difficult or the challenging part for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime the head in the same red that I used for my Spider-Man head, poppy red, and then I'm going to block out different colors, and I'm going to do some dry brush techniques, and I'm going to see if I can get this, I can do justice to the sculpt. So wish me luck, okay? I'll be back after I prime it. Well, now that I got my head primed, before I do the orange, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to block out the darker areas in black, like the eye sockets and the mouth and the nose, just to get that out of the way. Because I want to paint the skull, a bone color. Oops. And so I really need to get this area blacked out first. And at this point, it doesn't really matter if you have a little over travel, just because you're going to go back and you're going to paint it anyway. And I think, oops, yeah, you got to make sure that you get those eye sockets because they're pretty deep. And it's going to be hard to do any touch-up that you have later on. So, I guess get it right the first time. Okay. I think that's good. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like block out some of the... I'm going to put some orange down. I'm not really going to do a dry brush, but I'm going to do like a flat brush and just lay down some orange. And what I have here is I have the harvest orange. And I'm just going to lay down some, I guess, the highlights. And to do this, I'm going to take some paint and I'm going to take off a lot of it. And then I'm going to just kind of like highlight. You can barely kind of see it. And what this is doing is just kind of like layering different colors. So you still have the red underneath, but the highlighted areas are kind of like orange. And I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do it with yellow, and I'm going to finally do it with a white paint. And so, I mean, that's the plan anyway. I'm going to layer those colors so I can get, some depth to the piece and hopefully have a realistic flame effect. I was thinking about doing a Johnny Storm, and this is the technique that I was going to employ for that. It's just going to take a little patience, because you're going to have multiple steps on this. And you're going to have to make sure it's completely dry. In between dry brushes. So that's kind of like what I have so far. I'm going to go ahead and lay down a coat of the bone now. For the bone, I'm going to use an antique parchment, and it's one of those apple barrel paints. And this is just going to be the base coat for the skull. And then I'm going to do some highlights in white. I think I'm going to have to get a smaller brush for that part. And this is just the first, I guess, layer. So if you do make a mistake or two, you can go back and you can get it with the orange paint. And then remember, we're also going to use a wash on it. So I'm just trying to get those the darker recesses. I want to keep those black. Wow, it's looking good already. I think I might try a red wash too. Not on the flesh. I mean on the bone, but on the fire. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. Probably gonna go back and paint some of that red. Maybe orange, just to kind of clean it up a little bit. But that's the general idea. I'm gonna go ahead and let it dry now. All right, so I'm gonna just go back and I'm gonna touch up some of the areas. And I missed some things here, and then there's some over travel, so I'm gonna have to take care of that. And this is also adding an extra layer of this antique paint, the bone. So it's kind of like, it's not white, but it's making it very light. Yeah, try not to get it into the eye sockets or the nose. I couldn't help it with the mouth. And if you mess up on the hair a little bit, that's okay, because we're gonna take care of that in just a moment. Okay, I think that's good. Let me go back to my orange paint because I see some places where I messed up. And what I'm going to do with the orange paint is I'm just going to sharpen those edges of the flame. It's actually blending really well with the red paint. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, I think I'm ready for the next step. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit because I want to do a yellow dry brush, and since I just painted this orange on here, if I try to do a dry brush now, it's just going to pull that color right off. So I think I'm gonna have to let it dry just a little bit longer. Just making sure that I tighten up those edges. Okay, I'm gonna let him dry a little bit more longer and I'll be right back. Well, at this point, what I'm gonna do is I've got that orange blocked out and I've got the skull face kind of painted that antique white, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some more highlights in his hair, and I'm gonna use this Walmart paint. It's the golden yellow, and I'm gonna use a dry brush technique. Now the dry brush is just basically getting some paint on the brush and then removing like 90% of it. So I'm going to get it in the bristles. Then I'm going to take most of it off, and then I'm going to use what's left to highlight the raised areas on the head. You can see it's giving it a flame effect already. And then finally what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish it off with a white. Okay, I have to apologize. You know, I thought I was videotaping, and I wasn't. But you'll see I finished up the yellow dry brush on the head. And now what I started doing was I started applying this Agrax Earthshade to the skull to kind of like, you know, fill in the recesses of the sculpt, you know, kind of like the bony pieces inside. And you know, if you add too much, don't worry about it, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a white highlight of the skull pieces. I'm just trying to get this into the recesses, into the dark areas, and I think I might add a black to it too. But I wanted to have the brown closely associated with the hairline, or the flame line in this case. And you can see that simple application is really giving you some depth, some detail to your paint job. You know, washes, so easy to use and they add so much. So at this point I'm going to go ahead and let them dry, because like I said, I wanted to do that white dry brush. I'm going to do the white dry brush on his hair and the skull. All right, well, I'll be back as soon as this is dry. All right, I'm going to start off with more of the parchment paint. And I'm just going to take care of the areas which are naturally highlighted. Now that wash is dry. You can see that's a really good effect. That wash has darkened those areas that needed to be darkened. Boy, that looks that looks almost done right there. Wow, okay. Now I'm going to do a dry brush in the white. just to kind of finish it off. Boy, that's looking good. It's really giving it a real cool flame effect. It's blending in with that yellow and the orange and the red. Yeah, make sure you get the tips. Because, you know, in a natural fire, that's where the lightest part would be. And I'm going to go over the head too, over the face, I should say. Oops. Yeah, you don't want to put too much on there. Wow, really cool. You know, I think I'm done. You know, I may put a little wash in there, like I got some red wash. I think I might put a little red wash in there, just because I made that mistake and made it. Or you know what? I can just put a little yellow in there. And just dry brush a little yellow. That'll work. And then I'll go back and I'll just add the white, blend it in there. Yeah, that'll work. Just go back and highlight that white. But yeah, I think this guy is pretty much done. Look at that. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and spray him with some matte clear coat, and yeah, I think I'm gonna call him. You know what? I decided to soften it a little bit. I have some red tint, and this is some Walmart tint, and what I'm going to do is, that color was just a little too bright, so you can see I'm just kind of like filling in these little like gaps in the paint where the recesses are, kind of like blend in the color a little bit, because it was a little too bright. I still have those highlights, but they're a little more subdued now. Yeah, there you go. Oops. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put my matte clear coat on there, and I think I'm done. Well, here's my Ghost Rider. You know, I protected the head with the matte clear enamel. I use this Rust-Oleum brand, and what it does is it not only protects the paint, but it kind of like, you know, gives it a smooth, even finish to the paint job after it's done. So, you know, it's a necessary step, in my opinion, just to make sure that, you know, number one, you protect the paint job, and number two, you get the best results. But boy, doesn't he look cool. You know, this is a figure I've been wanting for a while, and you know, James Rogovoy over at Illusion.com on eBay, you know, he just nailed it out of the park, didn't he? I'm really happy with the flame effects. You know, if you remember, I had some wider areas, and I put in a red wash in there. to kind of bring it down. But boy, it kind of like glows still. It's like I don't know. I got lucky. It works. It looks really, really good. The outfit came from Classic TV Toys. These are their riding boots, and they're like rubber riding boots, and they look like motorcycle boots, And then I just got some of the stretch pants that they have. I got the black motorcycle jacket, the black body underneath. You can't really see it. He's got a black T-shirt, but the black body's underneath, and these chains. This accent right here came from J-Spy. J-Spy has this like monster set, and in one of his monster sets, he has these chains with the padlocks. And so what I did was I grabbed them, put them on my Ghost Rider here. So yeah, but you know what? He's not complete, because he wouldn't be complete without his motorcycle, right? I couldn't help myself. I opened this, so it's not really an unboxing, but I got the Batman, the new Batman Drifter motorcycle, and I've already opened it because I really wanted to see like how we fit on it. So let me pull that out. It's just it's from their DC Multiverse Collection. Mcfarlane Toys produces it. I guess if you want to see the pictures on the back. Pretty cool looking motorcycle. I have the other Batman motorcycle too, but it's a little too slick and clean looking. So what do I have here? Oh, I got a helmet. I didn't even notice that. I got a helmet, and I got some trading cards and a base. Pretty neat. But this is what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the motorcycle. So let me grab my Ghost Rider and kind of like put them on so you can see the scale of it. Just get his hand on the handlebar. Bring this leg around. Get it back on the stand. And there he is on his motorcycle. Yeah, see, the scale is really, really good. Maybe a tad too small. I mean, maybe a tad. I would say, it's imperceptible. It's not really that big of an issue. I don't see the size being that different from a 1/9 scale. Look at that. See what I mean? Yeah, but that motorcycle, isn't that so cool? I'm so happy with this guy. Ghost Rider is one of my favorite characters for Marvel, and to have him is just really, really cool, and I'm really happy about it. So I hope you guys try your own. You can see it's not really that difficult to do. I was a little intimidated about the hair effect, for the flame, but I think it's just a little bit of like, you have to get that deep red in the beginning. That's going to be your base, and then you're going to come back and you're going to add that orange and just build on that with the yellow, and then finally the white, and then you'll get that really cool flame effect. I don't think the bones, the skull is that difficult. Just cover in the dark parts, with black, and then just use that antique white. And I think you got yourself a Ghost Rider. Yeah, really happy. All right, well, till next time, you guys stay safe, be cool, and I will see you all soon. Take care, and bye-bye now.